Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Biopulse. Today is the day 14 of complete biology MCQ in 40 days NEET series line by line NCERT. We are going to discuss the chapter Biodiversity and Conservation. Have you ever wondered why losing even a single species can disturb the entire balance of the nature? Yes, of course, it can be. From the tiny microbes you can't see to the massive forest that sustains the life, biodiversity is the backbone of our planet. But here is the shocking truth that species are disappearing faster than ever before. In this chapter, we will not only understand what diversity is, but also why it matters, how it is being lost, and most importantly, how we can conserve it. So, get ready to master the concepts like genetic species, ecosystem diversity, and then biodiversity hotspots and conservation strategies, all with easy tricks and then smart shortcuts and NEET focused questions. So stay tuned up to the end of the video because this chapter can boost your score and understanding of life on earth. So let's dive into the chapter's detail. This is the first question of today's discussion, that is from the concept biodiversity. Here the term biodiversity popularized by, let me take a pointer, A. Robert Hooke, B. Ernst Haeckel, C. Edward Wilson, and then D. G. Tansley. And then right option is here C. Edward Wilson. He is the person who gave the term biodiversity and he popularized it. So who is that person? That person is Edward Wilson. And the next question is, that is question number 2. Edward Wilson was a mathematician, a sociobiologist, C. physiologist, and then D. none of the above. So here the right option is B. sociobiologist. He was a famous sociobiologist. And the next third question, biodiversity was popularized A. to describe the combined diversity, B. to describe individual diversity, C. to describe plant diversity, and then D. none of the above. So when we talk about biodiversity was popularized by to describe the combined diversity. To describe the combined diversity, it is popularized. And then fourth one, types of biodiversity is or are A. genetic biodiversity, B. species biodiversity, C. ecological biodiversity, and then D. all of this. Here the right option is all of this. So let me give you a small trick about that. Genetic, species, and ecosystem. Just to remember this line, good students excel, that is GSE. G is for genetics, S is for species, and then E is for ecosystem. So types of biodiversity are 3, that is genetic biodiversity, species biodiversity, and then ecological biodiversity. Next one, fifth question. The genetic variation shows in A. Rauwolfia vomitoria, and then B. rice, C. mango, and then D. all of the above. Here the right option is D. all of the above. Rauwolfia vomitoria, this is medicinal plant actually growing in different Himalayan ranges, shows genetic variation in terms of the potency and then conservation of the active chemical it produces. Okay now, Whereas rice, India has more than 50,000 genetically different strains of rice. And then mango, India has more than 1,000 varieties of mangoes. Since each of these represents high diversity at the genetic level within a single species, so that the answer is all of this. Okay, answer is D. Next, sixth question. Active chemical in Rauwolfia vomitoria is terpene, B. reserpine, C. aspirin, and then D. none of this. Here the right option is B. reserpine. This plant produces an active chemical called as what? Reserpine, which is used medicinally to treat high blood pressure and certain mental disorders also. Seventh one, which one is correct about genetic diversity? Among the following, which one is correct about the genetic diversity is A. Genetic variation shown by Rauwolfia vomitoria, and then B. Which one is correct? He is asking. This one itself is correct. Genetic variation shown in Western Ghats, wrong. India has less than 5,000 genetically different strains of rice. No. India actually has more than 50,000 genetically different strains of rice. And then India has 1,000 varieties of rice, incorrect, because India has more than 1,000 varieties of mango, isn't it? So here the right option is option A itself. Seventh one, India has more than dash genetically different strains of rice and then dash varieties of mango. Just now we discussed about it, that is option A itself is right. 50,000 genetically different strains of rice and then 1,000 varieties of what? Mango. Ninth one, the diversity at the species level is C or A. The diversity at the species level is A. ecological diversity, B. genetic diversity, C. species diversity, and then D. none of this. Here the right option is option C. species diversity. The Ghats have a great amphibian species diversity than the dash Ghats. Here option A, eastern, western, B, western and eastern, C, western and southern, and then D, eastern and southern. So here the right option is B, western and eastern. The Western Ghats have a greater amphibian species diversity than the Eastern Ghats. 11th question. Ecological diversity is in desert, B. rainforest and mangroves, C. coral reefs and then wetlands, D. all of this. You can see ecological diversity is in all of the above areas. So D option is right. And then 12th one, biodiversity and its conservation is of A. national concern, B. concern in some states of India, and then C. international concern, and then D. all of this. Here the D is right. Actually, biodiversity conservation is a multiple layered responsibility that operates at every level of the governance and society. So we all are responsible for that, for the conservation of the biodiversity. And then next is the concept from how many species are there on the earth, how many in India. 13th question, IUCN stands for IUCN stands for what? A. International Unity for Conservation of Nature. No. B. Indian Union for Conservation of Nature. No. C. Italian Union for Conservation of at Nature. This is also wrong. And then D. International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resource. Yes, of course, this is the expansion of what? IUCN. Next one, 14th, Robert May estimates the global species diversity at about. Robert May estimated the global species diversity at about A. 7 billion, B. 70 million, C. 7 million, and then D. 70 billion. Here the right option is option C. 7 million. 15th one, most species rich taxonomic group are. Most species rich taxonomic group are A. Crustaceans, B. Insects, C. Mollusk, and then D. None of the above. Here the right option is option B, that is insects. Actually, insects makes more than 70% of all recorded animal species. This means that out of every 10 animal on the earth, approximately 7 are insects only. 16th one, in all available species, more than 70% of all the species recorded are dash, which dash comprises no more than 22% of the total. So here A. invertebrates and plants, B. plants and then animals, C. animals and then plants, D. plants and invertebrates. So here the right option is C. animals and plants. According to the global biodiversity estimates, animals, more than 70% of all recorded species on earth are animals, whereas plants, which includes like algae, fungi, brio, and then gymno and even angio, comprises 22%. Okay, now that is no more than the 22% of total recorded species. 70% is of animals and then not more than 22% of the plants. Next question, the highest variation of species in plant is in option A. fungi, option B. mosses, option C. algae, and then option D. lichens. Here the right option is option A. fungi. 18th question, in vertebrates, maximum number of species found in A. birds, B. mammals, C. fishes, and then D. reptiles. Here the correct option is C. fishes. Actually, there are over 33,000 plus known species of fishes, and about birds, only approximately 10,000 to 11,000 species. And if I talk about the mammals, approximately 6,000 to 6,400 species. If I am talking about the reptiles, approximately 11,000. But when it comes to the fishes, there are over 33,000 plus species of fishes are there. Next one, 19th one, problem behind no given figure. Number of given figure about prokaryotic is A. conventional taxonomic methods are not suitable for identifying microbial species. B. many species are simply not culturable under laboratory condition. C. because prokaryotes are non-living, and then D. both A and B are correct. Here the correct option is option D. Both A and B are correct. 20th question. India has only -% at the world's land area. Its share of global species diversity in an impressive %. Here A is 2.4, 8.1, 8.1, 2.4, 4.1, 8.2, and then D 8.4 to 2.1. Here world's land area, India occupies 2.4%. It occupies how much? 2.4. If I am talking about global species diversity, even though despite its a small land footprint, India's share of the global species diversity is an very impressive manner, that is 8.1%. This is high level of biodiversity makes India one of the 11 mega diverse countries in the world, 17th mega diversities. In the sense, it's a high level of biodiversity. So here the right option is option A. India has only 2.4% at the world's land area, and its share of the global species diversity in an impressive manner is 8.1%. Next question, 21. India is one of the mega diversity countries of the world. And then here the right option is 12. Next question. Here comes the question number 22. How many plant species found in India roughly? Option A 1 lakh, B 45,000, C 30,000, and then D none of the above. So here the right option is option B. 26. According to May's global estimate, there are probably plant species and more than animal species. Here the right option is 3 lakhs and 1 lakh, 30,000 and then 10,000, C 1 lakh and 3 lakh, D 10,000 and 30,000. Here the right option is option C 1 lakh and 3 lakhs. Next, from the patterns of biodiversity, 24th question. Species diversity decreases as A. We move away from equator towards the pole. This one itself is right. So here the right option is option A. Next, 25. How many species of birds found in India? How many species of birds are found in India? That is option A 1500, B 1400, C 1200, and then D 1700. Here the right option is option C 1200. Next, 26th one. Greatest biodiversity on earth is found in A. Sundarbans, B. Amazon rainforest, C. Congo rainforest, and then D. None of the above. Here the right option is option B. Amazon rainforest. And it's often called as what? Lungs of the planet, because but it is also the world's greatest reservoir of the life. It holds the highest biodiversity on the earth for the several reasons. The main reason is immense species count. It is the home of millions of the species, approximately like 40,000 species of plants, 3,000 species of freshwater fishes, and then more than 370 species of reptiles it has. And it has a very ideal climate Along with that, complex ecosystem. These are the reasons where it is said to be what? Lungs of the planet. Which one? Amazon rainforest. Next, 27th one, question number 27. Amazon rainforest situated in. It is situated in North America, North India, South America, West America. Here the right option is C, South America. Next, choose the correct option. Here among them, choose the correct option. This is group and this one is given number of species, isn't it? Plant has 40,000. Okay, if you know any two, you can guess the right option very easily. Plant has 40,000 means 1 is 2. 1 is 2. 2 we have at both in A and C. Next, fishes is for 3,000. 2 is 4. 2 is 4 again 2 times. Birds is for 5, 1,300. So 3 is for 5. For both also it is. Mammals 427. 4 is 3. So first one is correct. And then reptiles 378. So the right option is option A. 29. How many insect species waiting to be discovered and named? How many insect species waiting to be discovered and named means A, 2 million, B, 20,000, C, 2,000, D, 2 lakhs. Here the right option is option A, 2 millions. Actually, scientists estimated that in only Amazon rainforest only, there might be at least 2 million insect species waiting to be discovered and named. This is highlighting the immense diversity of the tropical regions compared to the temperate region, isn't it? Yeah. 30th question. Which one is wrong about species found in Amazon rainforest? A, reptiles 378 is correct. B, fishes 3000. C, birds 1300. So conclusion what? D, all of the above are correct. So here the right option, all of the above are correct. 31. More energy available in tropics, which contributes to higher productivity. A, solar, B, thermal, C, nuclear, D, none of the above. Here the right option is A, solar. Next, 32 question. Question number 32. The relation between species richness and area for the wide variety of taxa turns out to be A, linear, B, sigmoid, C, rectangular hyperbola, and then D, none of the above. Here the right option is option C, rectangular hyperbola. The relationship between the species richness and area for a wide variety of the taxa like angiosperms, birds, bats, and then freshwater fishes is decreased by the species area relationship. So 33rd question. Correct equation of species area relationship is log A equals to log S plus Z log C. No. B, log S equals to log C plus Z log A. This one is correct. So the right option is option B. 34. In species area relationship equation, Z stands for what? A. Slope of line. B. Regression coefficient. C. Species richness. D. Both A and B are correct. So here the right option is option D. Both A and B are correct. 35. Value of Z is A. 20 to 30. B. 1 to 2. C. 0.1 to 0.2, and then D. None of the above. So here the right option is option C. 0.1 to 0.2. Next question. Question number 36. The value of Z in the entire continents. The value of Z in entire continent is 0.8 to 1.8, 0.6 to 1.1, 0.1 to 0.2, none of the above. So here the right option is option B. Next, the value of Z for frugivorous birds and mammals in tropical forest of different continent is 2.15, B 0.5, C 1.15, D 0.8. Here the right option is 1.15, that is C. Next, concept of species area relationship given by first one Robert Frost, B Paul Ehrlich, C Alexander Hook, and then D Alexander von Humboldt. Here the right option is option D. It was first discovered by German naturalist, that is Alexander von Humboldt. During his pioneer exploration in the South American jungle, he observed that within a specific region, species richness increases with increasing in explored area, but only up to a limiting. Okay. 39. Alexander von Humboldt is a, just now I said, isn't it? So you people can easily guess. German naturalist, yes of course, and B philosopher, and then C geographer, D both A and C are correct. So here the right option is D. Next, according to Alexander's species richness, option A increased with increased explored area but only up to limit. This one itself is correct here. Next, find A and B and also select the correct answer. This is A and this one is B. This is area and this one is species richness. Area versus species richness. A is area and then B is species richness. So the right option is option B. 42. In species area relationship equation, A S equals to species richness and A is equals to area, correct. C is equals to Y, that is intercept, and then D all of this. Here the all of them are correct, so the right option is D. Next, 43. Which one is correct about the stable community? Which one is correct about the stable community? A should not show too much variation in productivity from year to year. Correct. B it must be either resistant or resilient on surface disturbance. Yes. C it must also be resistant to invasions by alien species, and then D all these are correct. So here the correct option is all of this. 44. Find out the correct option about David Tillman's long-term ecosystem experiment? A. Plots with more species showed less year-to-year year-to-year variation in total biomass. Correct. B. Plots with more species show too much variation in productivity. No, because Tillman's experiment showed that opposite, more species leads to less variation, not too much variation. Here it is given too much variation, isn't it? Next, C. Increased diversity contributed to higher productivity. This one is right. So option D is right here. 45. Rivet-Popper hypothesis is given by. Rivet-Popper hypothesis is given by Alexander von Humboldt. No. Paul Ehrlich. So this is the right option. Actually, he used an analogy to explain importance of biodiversity and consequences of the species loss within the ecosystem. Next question, that is question number 46. Paul Ehrlich is a Stanford ecologist. Correct. B. Stanford physiologist. No. C. Stanford micrologist. No. D. Stanford zoologist. No. He is a ecologist. 47. In Rivet-Popper hypothesis, Rivet depict as A. ecosystem, B. extinct species, and then C is species. Here the right option is option C. 48th. According to Ehrlich-Rivet-Popper hypothesis, loss of rivets on the wings affects in ecosystem as A. loss of key species that drive major ecosystem function. This is correct. Proper functioning of ecosystem, species to become extinct, none of this. So here the right option is option A. 49. According to Rivet-Popper hypothesis, which one is not correct? Which one is not correct? Option A. Rivet and species. Rivet and species is correct. B. Airplane and ecosystem is correct. Rivet to take home species to become extinct. This one is also correct, because removing the rivet to take home symbolizes the loss of species. And then D. all these are correct. So these all are correct. So answer D is right. Now next comes about loss of biodiversity portion. 50th one. The colonization of tropical specific Iceland by human is said to have led to the extinction of more than dash of navy birds. Here the right option is 2000 species itself. Next, 51. According to Red List 2004, number of total extinct species in last 500 years is A. 504 species, 387 species, 478 species, 784 species. And then here the right option is option D. 784 species. Vertebrates actually 338 species, invertebrates 359 species, and then plant 87 species. Red listed one. Next, 52. How many species of invertebrates become extinct in last 500? Just now I said total extinction is 784, and then invertebrates is 3 59. Plants is 87. So the right option will be C. And then 53. According to recent extinction, which one of the option is incorrect? A. Dodo, Mauritius, and then B. Steller's sea cow, that is in the USA, C. Quagga, Africa, and then D. Thylacine, that is Australia. Among them, recent extinction, which one is incorrect means B1 is incorrect, that is Steller's sea cow. 54. Subspecies of tiger which becomes recently extinct. Subspecies of tiger, that is A. Bali, B. Caspian, C. Javan, and then D. all of these. So here the right option is D. all of these. 55. The last 20 years alone have witnessed the disappearance of 300 species, B. 10 species, C. 27 species, and then D. 1000 species. Here the right option is option C. 27 species. 56. 1. Match the following one. Here species are given and then percentage of threat of extinction. Birds is about 12, that is 3 to 12%. So A is 3 to 12%. Percentage of threat of extinction 12%. It's not 3 to 12, it's number 1 2 3 4. Okay, bird is 12%, so A is 3. Mammals is 23%, B is 1. So A and D are wrong. And then amphibian is 32%, C is 2. And then gymno is 31%. So D is 4. So here the right option is option B. 57. Select the correct statement about sixth extinction. Here he is asking about the sixth extinction. A. The extinction rate are estimated to be 100 to 1000 times faster than in the pre-human times. This is correct. So B. Human activities are responsible for the faster rate. And then C. Half of all the species on the earth might be wiped out within the next 1000 years. So here the right option is option D. Both A and B option are correct. Why this is wrong? Half of the all species on the earth might be wiped out within the next 100 years. It must be not the 1000, it must be 100 years. That's what this statement is wrong. Okay, next 58th one. Loss of biodiversity in a region may lead to option A. Decline in plant production, B. Lowered resistance to environmental perturbation such as drought, C. Increased variability in ecosystem process, and then D. all of this. So here the right option is option D. Next 59th one. The Evil Quartet is a term used to describe causes of habitat loss, B. Causes of biodiversity losses, and then C. Causes of water losses. So here D. all of these. And then right option here it is B. It's a Causes of biodiversity losses. 60th question. The accelerated rate of species extinctions are largely due to A. Natural activities, B. Machine activities, C. Human activities, and then D. None of this. And then right option here it is C. Human activities. 61. Which one is not involved in the evil quartet? A. Habitat loss and fragmentation, B. Alien species invasion, C. Overexploitation, and then D. All are involved. Here the right option is option D. 62. The most important cause of animals and plants to extinction. A. Overexploitation, B. Alien species invasion, and then C. Coexistence, D. Habitat loss and then fragmentation. Here the right option is option D. Habitat loss and then fragmentation. C. Lungs of the planet term used for. I explained about that, isn't it? A. Tropical rainforest? No. B. Amazon rainforest? Exactly. Amazon rainforest is said to be what? Lungs of the planet. 64th question. The Amazon rainforest harboring probably millions of species too is being cut and cleared for A. For cultivating soybeans, B. Conservation to grassland for raising beef cattle, C. Cultivating new forest, and then D. Both A and B are correct. So here the right option is D. 65. When a large habitat are broken up into small fragments due to various dash mammals and birds requiring large territories, and certain animals with migratory habitat are badly affected, leading to dash. Here we must find out A and then B. Here A is natural activities, no, due to the various human activities, okay, leading to a population decline. So the option B is right. 66. Once covering more than dash percent of Earth's land surface, these rainforests now cover no more than dash percent. That is 14 and then 6. 14 and then 6. The right option is option C. 67. Species extinct in the last 500 years due to overexploitation by the humans. Due to overexploitation by the humans. A. Steller's sea cow, B. Sickled cow, C. Passenger region, and then D. A and C both are correct. Here the right option is D. Both A and C are correct. According to IUCN Red List and then ecological studies, overexploitation is one of the major cause of the biodiversity loss. Next, 68. How many species of sickled fish is extinct due to introduction of Nile perch in Lake Victoria? In Lake Victoria, when introduced of Nile perch is happened, no, there how many species of sickled fish is extincted, he is asking. Here option are 2, 20, 200 and 2000. Right option is option C, 200. 69. The environmental damage caused and threat posed to over native species by invasive weed species like A. Carrot grass, that is also known as Parthenium, B. Water hyacinth, C. Lantana, and then D. All of this. So here the right option is D. All of this. All the three plants listed are well known for invasive species that have caused significant ecological and environmental damage to the native ecosystem, especially particularly the carrot grass, water hyacinth, and then lantana. Water hyacinth is called Eichhornia, whereas lantana is called as Lantana camara. 70th one. Seventeenth question. African catfish dash is posing as threat to the indigenous catfish. Let me read once again. 70th one. African catfish dash is posing as threat to the indigenous catfish. A. Parthenium. No. B. Clarias garlippinus. Yes, correct. And then C. Clarias branchiosoma. So here the right option is B. 71. Which one of is correct statement about coexist extinction? Here A option, when a species become extinct, the plant and then animal species associated with it in an obligatory way also become extinct. This is obligatory relationship, isn't it? Next, B. When a host becomes extinct, its unique assemblage of parasite also meets the same fate. And then C. In a plant pollinator mutualism, where extinction of one invariably leads to the extinction to the other. And then D. All these statements are correct. So here the right option is D, because all those are correct. All the three above are correct. 72th question. Question number 72. Which one is not an example of alien species invasion? Not example. Option A. Parthenium. B. Stellars, sea cow, sea catfish, and then D. Lantana. Here the correct option is option B. Stellars, sea cow, because this is an example of species extinction due to overexploitation, not the alien species invasion. 73. Purpose of introducing African catfish in the Indian River is for aquaculture, B for ornamental purpose, C for agriculture, and then D none of this. Obviously, if we are talking about catfish, African catfish, it will be for aquaculture. Common sense. 74. Reason behind conserving the biodiversity. What is the reason behind it? A. Narrowly utilitarian. B. Broadly utilitarian. C. Ethical one, and then D. All of this. So here the right option is D. All of this. 75. More than 25% of drugs currently sold in market worldwide are derived from dash, and dash species of plants contribute to the traditional medicine used by native peoples around the world. So here the right option is 1 is plant and then 2 is 25,000. So option A itself is correct. Next 76. How much oxygen is produced by Amazon forest through photosynthesis? Option A 20% of total oxygen, B 30% of total oxygen, C 25% of total, and then D none of this. Here the right option is option A. 20% of total oxygen is by whom? By the Amazon forest itself. Question number 77. Select the correct option about the ethical argument. A. In ethical argument of conserving biodiversity relates to what we are to millions of plant, animals and microspecies with whom we share this planet. And the next one, this one is correct. B. We need to realize that every species has an intrinsic value. Yes, of course. C. We have a moral duty to care for their well-being and pass on our biological legacy in good order to future gen. So here the D option, all the statements are correct. 78. Species confined to that region and not found anywhere else is called what? A. In-situ, B. Exotic, C. Endemic, and then D. None of this. Here the right option is C. Endemic. What actually endemic species means? These are the plants or else animals that exist only in the one particular geographical region. For example, Iceland nation or else other defined zone. If I give example, lemur is endemic to Madagascar. You can see lemur only in the Madagascar, isn't it? So that is the endemic species, I can say. What is actually in situ? This refers to the method of the conservation where species are protected in their natural habitat. For example, if I can say parks and then wildlife sanctuaries, they are the in-situ conservations. We are conserving the wildlife within an area, isn't it? And if I talk about exotic species, these are the species that are not native to a particular area. They have been introduced from somewhere else, okay now, often by the human activity. So 79th one, initially dash diversity hotspot were identified, but after some time dash more than been added and the total number of biodiversity hotspot in world 2 is 3. So here what is actually 1 and then 2 and then 3 we must identify here. So among them 1 is 25, 2 is 9 and then 3 is 34. So the right option is option A. Match the following, column 1 with column 2. Biosphere reserve, it matches to what? 14. A is 2 among them. National parks is of 90 national parks are there. B is 3. So option A is right. 81. Sacred groves are or is found in Kashi and Jaintia hills in Meghalaya. Correct. Aravali hills of Rajasthan, Western Ghat region of Karnataka, and all of these are correct. Here the right option is D. 82. In which sacred grove the last refuge for the large number of rare and threatened plants are there? A. In Rajasthan, B. in Western Ghat, C. in Meghalaya, D. in Karnataka. So here the right option is C. in Meghalaya. 83. Biodiversity hotspots is a region where a very high level of species richness and high degree of endemism, and then B, very high low sorry high level of species richness and then low degree of endemism, or else endemism you can say. C, very low level of species richness and also low degree of endemism. So here the right option is option A. 84. Which one is not a characteristic of biodiversity hotspot? A, high level of species richness. B, endemism. C, 38 in number. D, accelerated habitat loss production. So this is the right option. Make a small correction. Here this is not C, this is D. 85. Which one is not included under the in-situ conservation? Here option biosphere reserves, B, national parks, C, zoological park, and then D, sacred groves. Zoological park is correct answer. Actually, why we are not included under in-situ conservation means, see, in-situ conservation means what? Involves protecting a species within the natural habitat, isn't it? The entire ecosystem is protected so that the species can live and evolve naturally. For example, biosphere reservoirs, national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, and sacred groves also. If I am talking about ex-situ conservation, that is off the site, this involves what? Removing a species, especially endangered and threatened one, from its natural habitat and placing it in a special setting under the human care. Example, I can take a zoological parks, isn't it? So that zoological park is not included under in-situ conservation. So here these are the Indian hotspots. Next question, that is 86. Which one is not the hotspot in India? A, Western Ghat, Indo-Burma, Eastern Ghats, and then Himalaya. Here the right option is C, that is Eastern Ghat. Some are the list of the Indian hotspots I gave: Himalaya, Indo-Burma, Western Ghats, Western Himalaya, and then Sundaland, that is Nicobar. 87. Sacred groves are that: A, place which are protected for the animals. B, place where all peoples are worshipped. No. Place where religion and then cultural traditions that emphasize protect of the nature. So this one is the right, and none of this. So here the right option is C. Make a small correction here. Next, 88. Sacred groves Kashi and then Zaintia hills located in, they are located in Meghalaya. 89. What is endangered or threatened? What is endangered or threatened? A, organisms facing a very high risk of breath due to environment. B, organisms facing a very high risk of extinction in the near future. So this one is correct answer, option B. 91. Which one of the following is not an example of ex-situ conservation? That is zoological park, botanical garden, biosphere, and reserves. So here the right option is option C. 91 question. See, these are some ex-situ list, that is zoo, botanical garden, and crypto preservations. 91. Gametes of threatened species can be preserved in variable and fertile condition for long periods using heat and cryopreservation. C both. D none of this. Here the right option is cryopreservation. 92. Threatened plant species can be propagated by tissue culture, aquaculture, cryopreservation, and none of these. It can be by tissue culture. 93. Earth Summit held in Rio de Janeiro in 2000, 1990, 1992 and 2002. Here the right option is C, that is 1992. Next question is 94th. The World Summit on Sustainable Development held in 2002 in A. Johannesburg, South Africa itself is the correct one. So make a small correction here, because 2000 in 1992 Earth Summit location is Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. 2002 World Summit on Sustainable Development, that is Johannesburg, South Africa. 2012 Rio 20, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. So here the right option is option A. So make a small correction here. 95. How many countries pledged in World Summit held in 2002 in Johannesburg? That is 200, 180, 170 and 190. Here the right option is 190. Next one, 96. In which type of conservation threatened animals and plants are taken out from their natural habitat and placed in species sheltering place where they can be protected and given a special care? And then here the right options are option A, cryopreservation, B, ex-situ conservation. Ex-situ conservation is the right option. Next one, 97. Seeds of different genetic strains of the commercially important plants can be kept for long period in kept for long period in A, cryopreservation, B, tissue culture, C, seed bank, and then D, none of them. Here the right option is seed bank. What is actually the seed bank? These are the specialized facilities designed to store seeds under the controlled temperature, humidity condition. Okay, we can control the temperature and humidity. What actually cryopreservation? It is the technique usually used for the long-term storage by using the liquid nitrogen at the minus 196 degrees Celsius. On this also you can get question. It is typically applied to the gametes and then embryos. 98th one. Which are involved in in-situ conservation? In-situ conservation. First one here, biosphere reserve. It involves, of course, and he is asking in situ conservation, right? Biosphere reservation is in situ, yes. 2, cryopreservation, it is a executive. 3, tissue culture, this one is also ex-situ. And then seed bank, this one is also ex-situ. National park is in-situ. Zoo park is ex-situ. Sacred grove is in-situ, and then safari park is ex-situ. So here the right option is 1, 5 and then 7. So option C is right. Next question, that is question number 99. Pledge of Earth Summit held in Rio de Janeiro. A, all nations to take appropriate measures for conservation of diversity and sustainable utilization of its benefit. It's a correct one. B, All nations are free to utilize natural resources and also harm the ecosystem. No, this is the incorrect one. C. Significant reduction in the current rate of biodiversity loss at the global, regional, and then local levels. This is also incorrect. So the right option is option A. Centuryth question, that is 101. What is correct about the historic convention on biological diversity? 1. It held in Rio de Janeiro. Yes, it is correct. 2. In 1992. It is also correct. 3. Also called the Earth Summit. Correct. 4th. 190 states pledged in this summit. That is also correct. Sorry, this is not correct because not 190, it's 196. Isn't it? 5th one. Commitment to achieve by 2020. The target is 2020. So the correct one includes 1, 2 and 3. So the right option is option D. So here is the right option, that is D1. Okay. So this is what actually we discussed for today's session. This session was good. So next time we will be discussing with another important topic for your NEET 2026. So for today, bye, take care, and then like, share and subscribe my channel. If you have any kind of the questions regarding to the video or else regarding to any of suggestions you have for me, please comment in comment box. Thank you.